For the best part of a decade he was Hollywood's most notorious cautionary tale. After being tipped for stardom, Robert Downey Jr. spent the late 1990s and early 2000s addicted to drugs and reduced to earning 8 cents an hour scrubbing pizza pans in the kitchen of the LA County Jail during regular stints in prison. So it is all the more remarkable that the 50-year-old was yesterday named the best-paid male actor for the third year running, raking in £51 million. Just how did he achieve this remarkable change of fortunes? Fittingly, a superhero transformation is behind his success. Forbes, which compiled the list, said Downey Jr. has managed to earn the stratospheric amount thanks to his starring role in the Iron Man films, what has become the biggest movie franchise in the world. He was first cast as eccentric billionaire inventor Tony Stark, who transforms into Iron Man, 7 years ago, alongside Gwyneth Paltrow, who plays his love interest, Pepper Potts. Since then he has starred in 4 more films. Avengers: Age of Ultron, the most recent installment, has pulled in a massive £830 million worldwide since its release earlier this year. These days there are remarkable parallels between the actor and his on-screen alter ego. Like Stark, Downey Jr. lives in Malibu, but in an eccentrically decorated £10 million ranch with its own gym, rose-covered stabling for 12 horses and riding rings. He also owns a £5 million pad in the trendy LA neighborhood of Venice Beach. The luxury doesn't stop there. He travels by private jet, has his own chef and indulges eccentricities in true Hollywood diva fashion, taking his furniture with him when he films on location. Yet it was not that many years ago that it looked like he would lose his life to substance abuse. The star reportedly had his first experience of drugs when he was only 6 years old after his father, a drug addict underground filmmaker, Robert Downey, let him try a cannabis joint. The actor claims he started taking drugs with his father as an emotional bonding experience. He recalls he was soon getting drunk every night and making 1,000 phone calls in pursuit of drugs. Dropping out of school early to study acting, he was spotted playing a drug-addled rich kid in the 1987 cult film Less Than Zero. As his profile grew, he had flings with a string of Hollywood actresses including Marissa Tomei, and had a much longer relationship with Sarah Jessica Parker, years before she became famous in Sex and the City. Sarah J. Parker and Robert Downey Jr. star in 1992 voting campaign. His starring role in Sir Richard Attenborough's 1992 biopic Chaplin should have propelled him into the film industry's Hall of Fame. He was routinely described, not least by himself, as the greatest actor of his generation, bringing an unmatched intensity and versatility to the screen. Instead, drug abuse dragged him to the bottom. His first marriage, to actress Deborah Faulkner in 1992, produced a son, Indio, but Downey Jr.'s repeated trips to jail and rehab for heroin and cocaine abuse destroyed the relationship. On one occasion he was arrested, naked and hallucinating, at the wheel of his Porsche. Another time, he was discovered in a fetal position in a vermin-infested alley behind a squalid LA hotel. He once told a judge that taking drugs was like having a shotgun in my mouth with my finger on the trigger, and I liked the taste of gunmetal. Guns and drugs were mutual obsessions. Downey Jr. once turned up to meet the British director Mike Figgis 2 hours late, barefoot and carrying a loaded shotgun he couldn't explain. In April 1996, he was arrested for possession of heroin, cocaine and a .357 Magnum handgun, this one unloaded, while roaring down Hollywood's Sunset Boulevard. His starring role in Sir Richard Attenborough's 1992 biopic Chaplin could have propelled him into the film industry's Hall of Fame. If not for the drugs the Marvel franchise returned him to the A-list. His starring role in Sir Richard Attenborough's 1992 biopic Chaplin could have propelled him into the film industry's Hall of Fame. If not for the drugs but the Marvel franchise returned him to the A-list. In 1997, After missing repeated drugs tests, he was given a 180-day jail sentence for violating probation but was caught fighting with another inmate. Fellow prisoners reportedly targeted the celebrity in their midst, and Downey Jr. twice woke up in a pool of his own blood. "I would never tell you the worst things that have happened to me," he once said of his time behind bars. The actor spent another year incarcerated, this time undergoing drug treatment, in 1999. A week after his release he joined the cast of the TV series Ally McBeal as the new love interest of its main character, played by Callista Flockhart. But the job didn't last. In 2001, he was sacked from the series following another drugs arrest in which he had been found wandering the streets, barefoot and high on drugs. His long-suffering wife followed the example of Sarah Jessica Parker and left him, taking their son with him. He was by now a pariah in Hollywood and, pursued over unpaid taxes, he almost went bankrupt. Then, in 2003, he met his current wife, producer Susan Levin. Downey Jr. credits her with his remarkable turnaround, as she insisted she would never marry him unless he gave up drugs for good. Robert Downey Jr. talks about turning 50 years old in suitably dramatic fashion. He stopped outside a roadside Burger King and threw all his drugs into the Pacific Ocean. He entered a 12-step program to tackle his addictions, took up meditation and describes beating his addictions as coming out of a 20-year coma. Downey Jr. insists he hasn't touched powerful stimulants ever since. His career started to recover within months of his pledge to give up drugs, and he is now apparently a devoted family man, taking Susan and their young son Ixton and daughter Avery with him as travels the globe. Downey Jr.'s £51 million earnings are considerably higher than the actor ranked second, Hong Kong-born martial arts star Jackie Chan, who pulled in £32 million from his action films. In third place was Vin Diesel, who earned £30 million thanks to the success of the Fast and the Furious franchise. Bradley Cooper, who is currently starring on the London stage in Elephant Man, was fourth with a £26 million haul from roles in films such as American Sniper, while comedian Adam Sandler was in fifth with £25 million. Rounding out the top 10 were Tom Cruise in sixth on £24 million. Bollywood stars Amitabh Bachchan and Salman Khan rank a joint seventh with £21 million, and Akshay Kumar was ninth on £20.8 million. Mark Wahlberg was 10th with £20.5 million. Daniel Craig was the only British actor on the list and came